What up, boys? It's Gaz, and welcome to the Warframe video. So, I'm going to be calling this an early guide on Operation Orphix Venom. And I'm going to be calling it an early guide because a lot of the stuff I'm showing in this video, I have a strong feeling will get nerfed and will not be as good and really recommended by me after a couple of days or weeks or who knows how long. So, yeah. All the stuff in this video today is the stuff I recommend to you in the Operation Orphix Venom Necramech event, which is currently live on PC today on the 19th of December. Now, keep in mind, there's going to be some things I recommend in here, and I am going to go ahead and say this. People have been telling me that the Bone Widow Necramech is actually better than the Void Rig Necramech for insta-killing the Orphix boss. I will tell you right now, I do not have a full build on the Bone Widow Necramech. I will be trying to get that completed here in the next couple of days. Once I get a full build on it, then I will make an actual guide on this event, because this event will be out for, I believe, 5 weekends is what Steve said. And it's going to be about 30 days it's going to be here. So, but yeah, I'll show you the stuff we have right now. It is pretty much, like, unfailable with this gear if you have 4 people with a somewhat competent Necramech build. And I was showing more than just a Necramech because you are going to be using things that are not just a Necramech in this event. So make sure you check out the Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Gaz_TTV. We recorded this video, or some of these parts of this video live, the gameplay at least, and also did a bunch of squad missions together. If you want to run this event with me on PC, hit me up on Twitch when I'm live. Alright, so let's get into it. I'm going to show you all the stuff I use, all the stuff I recommend, and the builds. To run the Operation Orphix Venom, where you can get the Lavos Warframe parts, you can get the Cedo, which is Lavos' Condition Overload Shotgun, which is ridiculous. You can get the parts for that, and you can get a bunch of arcanes from the Scarlet Spear. All that kind of stuff is here. Now, let's get into it. I'm going to show you, first off, the frame I'm going to recommend is going to be Inaros Prime. They did nerf basically all forms of healing versus on the Necramech, so you cannot use Trinity 4, you can't use Vazarin Dash, you can't use this, you can't use that, but there's a couple things that do work. And the reason we are running Inaros Prime is because my terrible dog, the Vizier Predacite, which we have a video on the channel, and probably no one watched because this thing sucks, it can still heal the Necramech. And we're running Inaros to give the Vizier Predacite a bunch of health with the Link Health and Link Armor mods. Our Vizier Predacite has nearly 9,500 health, and you can definitely get higher than that if you have a full Umbra Inaros build. You max out your Link Health, you max out your Link Armor. Now, the entire situation with Inaros and this Vizier Predacite is so the dog will not die. I don't want to have to get out my Necramech to res that dog. And the mod that lets you heal your Necramech with your dog is called Iatric Mycelium. I don't know how you actually pronounce that, and I don't really care. Releases a trail of spores every 8 seconds that heals the companion and its allies for 300 health over 5 seconds. Like I said, they probably will nerf it, but the way that this is worded makes it sound like it is supposed to heal the Necramech, as it says allies, and the Necramech is your ally. So 300 health over 5 seconds, it's not a huge heal, but it is a heal nonetheless, and I mean, you do enough damage to the Necramech, you don't need damage buffing. This is just exactly what you need. We're not really running fetch on here because the things the enemies drop in this mission are not very important. So yeah, we've also got Hunter Synergy for crit chance, and Maul and Bite for more crit chance, or more damage and crit damage. This thing has 100% crit chance and 9.6 multiplier. It can actually kill some of these enemies when it attacks. Primed Animal Instinct. You can honestly just take off Primed Animal Instinct for like more bleed out duration in case this thing does die. In an hour-long mission, killing all 36 of the Chondrix is going to take you about 55 minutes if you're doing it nearly as fast as possible. In a full hour-long mission, my Vizier Predacite with Inaros did not die once. It will die sometimes, like here or there, when I'm just super not paying attention. But yeah, with this setup, the dog will not die, and you will be constantly healing yourself. Another thing that will probably get nerfed. Let's get into the other form of healing. We have 2 forms of healing for our Necramech. So the Vizier Predacite from Deimos. I'll link the video for this thing in the description down below. This is one of the ways to heal it, and it is only this companion. The other way to do it is the Oromod Combat Discipline. Lose 10 health on kill. Allies gain 20 health on kill. This Oromod will work for your Necramech. So, in my opinion, the Oromod setup you should have if you have a 4-person squad. 2 people should be running this Oromod Combat Discipline. The other 2 people in the squad should be running the Oromod Corrosive Projection, wherever that one is. That's going to reduce the armor of the... I'm gonna call it the Chondrix. It's just a Chondrix, pretty much. The Chondrix boss. Remove it 36% of its armor. That will make it so your either Bone Widow 4th ability or your Void Rig Necramech 4th ability will destroy it a lot faster. So yeah, Combat Discipline 2, because you don't need 4 of them. Just reducing the enemy's armor a little bit is going to make it so you can kill stuff faster. So that's why I'd recommend 2 and 2. Energy Siphon does not work in the Necramech. A bunch of the mods don't work in the Necramech, so yeah, just go with those 4, I'd say, 2 and 2. So you'll be constantly full health. Like, the thing is, you kill so many enemies in this mission that you will be full health from either the dog or from this. So if they nerf both of them, that's what I'm saying. This is an early guide. This is not the final guide. And I'm going to be going over a Necramech build as well. But keep in mind, I do not have the Necramech Rage mod. I consider the Necramech Rage mod an essential part of running this mission efficiently, because it's however much damage taken on your health, you'll get some of that damage back as energy in your energy pool. And the Necramech energy economy is terrible. That's going to be another reason we're running this specific Inaros build. We have Spectro Siphon on here from Gara. So Spectro Rage, Helminth ability, put onto a Naros. This will let you create a carousel of mirrors where the enemies die inside the Spectro Rage. They have a 50% chance to drop an energy orb. You could technically run Gara with this mod and then also subsume on Dispensary from Protea for more energy orbs, but I just find just running Spectro Siphon more than enough, and I find Subsume Dispensary very bad and slow. So that's what I'm going to recommend to you, to just go with Spectro Siphon on your Inaros. Trust me guys, this build has been working out great. And yeah, I have had good success with it. I don't think my Necramech died once today. I played about 5 hours of this event. So the rest of the stuff, just like health mods to make your dog more tanky, to make yourself more tanky, and range mods to make the area of Spectro Siphon larger. You could technically put an Arcane Grace, because Combat Discipline, losing that health will trigger Arcane Grace and let you regen. It's really not important. You don't need to run an Aros. You could run a frame like Wukong or somebody like that to get from place to place. We have a dog stat stick equipped here. Just really high crit chance for Hunter Synergy with the crit chance link. This Scuba Shacker is actually pretty good for like nuking down some Grenier as well, because they're not Steel Path Grenier, they're just normal Grenier. It doesn't matter what focus school you choose. You can run Matter Eye for increased damage, I suppose. It really does not matter, as they have nerfed Vazarin. You technically could run Unairu to Void Dash through the Chondrix to reduce its armor. I didn't really test if it actually works, but I did try it a couple times, and we were just like pretty much spawn killing it anyway, so it didn't really make much of a difference. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and say the best in-slot Arcwing gun for this is going to be the Fluctus. And the reason for that, let's see if they can show you in the gameplay here. The Fluctus, the way this mission works, the Predacite actually died. This is the first time it died in 24 Chondrix, guys. The reason the Fluctus is so good, this thing will create, the enemy you're trying to fight will create multiple like little sentient weakness towers, or whatever they're called. Sentient reactors, as I usually call them. It will create 4 sentient reactors somewhere in the room. And the great thing about the Fluctus is it has infinite punch through that can shoot through walls. So you can instantly nuke down the Chondrix because you just sit there, shoot it in the face with the Aqueducts, the Void Rig's 4th ability, and then when it creates those sentient reactors, you can shoot it through the wall with the Fluctus. Now, the only problem is the Fluctus has like a 50-meter range, I think it is. So if the sentient reactor is more than 50 meters away, you need to move a little bit closer. But a lot of the time, you can just stand there and just nuke them all down instantly. Here we go. So I see them, I shoot at them through the wall. With a fully maxed out build, you will like 1 or 2 shot them. I have a Riven mod on my Fluctus, to be fair. It seems like the sentient reactor things have about 10 to 11,000 health most of the time. So it's pretty easy to do. As you can see, I'm shooting the wall here on accident. You can also use the Void Rig's 4th ability, the Aqueducts, to destroy those sentient reactors as well. They're marked with those little red points on the map, and they're not too hard to kill. You could even use the Operator's Void Blast to one-shot them a lot of the time. Alright, so we showed this Fluctus build. I don't think the element really matters. I haven't done extensive testing on that, but something like this. By the way, crit chance and crit damage, you cannot crit those sentient reactors, so just go for max base damage on your Riven, or on your build in general. Just go for... See, there's no crit mods here. That's because you cannot crit those objects. And you're not using the Fluctus to DPS the boss. All your DPS on the boss is coming from guard mode from the Void Rig Necramech, and if you're running the Bone Widow Necramech, it will come from the Exalted Sword, whatever that thing's called. But currently, this is our build on the Necramech. Now, I know a lot of people won't have all these mods, but this is something you can work towards. I'd say the most important mods here are Necramech Flow, Necramech Streamline, and I guess the health mods. Necramech Repair is very helpful too. This will also heal you when you get low health in your Necramech, if they do end up nerfing the Terrible Dog and Combat Discipline. So just basically health, get tanky. Continuity is going to help you get less drain per second, along with Prime Streamline on your 4th ability right here, the guard mode. And Necramech Intensify gives you more power strength, never a bad thing. These other mods aren't very important, honestly. It's basically tank and then make it so your drain is lower on your 4. And then for the Aqueducts, the Exalted Gun for the Necramech, you want to go basically just full corrosive and then crit. Now keep in mind, critical focus does not work on the Aqueducts. So what we've got here is you got just flat crit chance here. This makes it where I believe it's 100%, 100% crit chance on the Aqueducts. You got hollow bullets for increased crit damage, increased fire rate, and then we're going corrosive here. And the thing has like ferrite armor, I think it's called. So you could just do either like corrosive cold or corrosive heat. They do basically the same amount of damage. I went with corrosive cold, and we've got multi-shot and damage on here. So this build is what you should run. The hitbox on that Chondrix is very wonky, so keep that in mind. You need to basically hit it a little bit below where the blue part of its eye is. That usually works for me. The nice thing, the reason the Bone Widow might be better than the Void Rig here is because the hitbox on the Bone Widow's sword, it basically covers the entire Chondrix. So it's much easier to use. It apparently one-shots the health gate, so keep an eye on the actual guide coming out in a couple of days here. Once DE decides to nerf my dog that is trash, and I've never used in any mission besides this mission. Once they nerf that dog, then we'll make another guide. Alright, so I think that was most of the stuff. We went over the Void Rig, we went over the Fluctus, we went over the Aqueducts, we went over the dog, and we went over the Inaros build. So let's just go over some tips now. So things to keep in mind in this event. You are going to, the Chondrix is going to spawn in the same spot in the rooms every time. And it's going to be 3 different spots in the tile set you're in. There is apparently some kind of like pattern of where exactly they spawn, but the pattern did seem to change. It was like either like, it would start with like 1, 2, 3, then 3, 2, 1, then 1, 1, 2. Like, I didn't want to, because I don't pay that much attention. To be entirely honest, I don't pay as much attention to that kind of stuff. I'm going to actually memorize patterns of spawn locations on this Chondrix. But I can tell you that if you just spawn camp them, that's great. Also, there is a bit of a throttle in this mission. As you can see, there's a lot of us waiting around here because we insta-kill the Chondrix. We kill him in probably about like a minute. There's a minute and a half of guaranteed waiting between Chondrix spawns. Like, if you are insta-killing it at spawn like we are, you will be waiting around for a good amount of this mission. And you cannot speed it up. The Nightwave button does not work. I don't know if anything would work to make this go faster. It's just a waiting game, guys. A lot of this event is nuking down the sentience and then waiting. So yeah, that is unfortunate. So like I said, it will basically be about 35 or 36 Chondrix in 55 minutes when you're doing it as nearly as quickly as possible. That's why the Fluctus is really helpful here, to let you shoot those sentient reactors through the wall. You can just basically stay in your 4 a bunch of the time, and then use the Fluctus when you need to, jump back. Once the Chondrix is dead, drop down that Spectro Siphon, get full energy easily, and then move on with your day. So yeah, I hope this was helpful to you guys. I'm trying to think if there's anything I've forgotten here. I want to say that's pretty much it on like the general like gist of stuff. Here's something that's funny. This event drops so many relics. It's like every 3 Chondrix you kill, you get a reward, and I have probably gotten like 50 plus relics from just doing this event today. The parts for the actual weapons and like the frame and stuff are like 4% drop rates, and I feel like the relics are like 20% drop rates. Like, it's ridiculous. So, hopefully you found this helpful. I will talk to you guys next time for another video. There will probably be a video on the new Lavos shotgun tomorrow, because wow. just wow. It actually is. It's definitely the best condition overload procer in the game. And it also hits really hard. So, yeah, I rolled a Riven for it like 200 times. So, yeah. I will see you guys in that video. Hopefully you enjoyed this event. I'm actually having fun with this event personally. Even if they do nerf the healing and all that stuff, you know, I've been having fun. There's a couple problems with it. Like, if you look time investment wise, this is a third or a fourth as effective as the Scarlet Spear time to arcanes. So that's unfortunate. Maybe they should buff the amount of phasic cells we get, because I think someone translated it. It's like 10% of your score is converted to phasic cells. So if they made like 20 or 30%, that would be a lot more appealing. And I'd feel more enticed to grind it if they made it so I get more phasic cells. I'm actually getting some good amount of arcanes for my time here. But whatever, guys. I'll talk to you next time. Take it easy, and peace.